19th at 8. Part of It's a Wonderful Lifetime, only on Lifetime.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't put any makeup.
And now for our final panel, we are so excited to welcome Rita Moreno, Emily Kinney, Justin Gaston, and Marissa Jaret Winokur from Santa Bootcamp, along with director Melissa Joan Hart. Thank you guys so much for being here today. We really appreciate your time. Our first question will be from Suzanne from tvmeg.com.
Hi, I enjoyed the movie, and what a wonderful cast it is. You guys are all great. My question is for Rita. It's an honor to talk to you. What was the best thing about playing Belle, and if there was one, what was the most challenging thing?
You know, the challenge was with a part like that since you're playing someone named Mrs. Claus, you suddenly get this image of a little rotund, cute lady who says cute things. And the challenge is to not do that because you've seen it so many times. And thank you to Melissa, who knows that I'm a very mischievous person. And I love to, when I get a chance to, if I'm allowed to, improvise. By that, I mean making up things here and there. Not like I read the whole script and made it all up. But it's wonderful that she allowed me to do that, which gave the character, I think, some sauce. And she could say the rest because she allowed me to do that. That was the challenge. I was afraid that I was going to end up being a very cliche kind of character because that can happen, heaven knows, in Christmas movies, let's be honest. So I was trying to avoid that with my life.
Well, Belle is such a funny character because she really does walk the line of she has to be likable, but she's also a real firecracker. I mean, she's very sarcastic. She's mischievous, like she said. She's like always kind of causing trouble, but knowing that, she has that wisdom and that knowledge to know that it's for the best and that she's working magic, literally behind the scenes, she's working magic. And to find an actress that can play that is so difficult, to walk that line and still be likable and still be lovable and still like you want to pinch her cheeks, but also like she's fabulous. Like Rita's just fabulous. And she just brings all that fabulousness that I like to say she had a twinkle in her eye. And there's so many scenes where she literally was like, she would deliver a line. It would just be like a twinkle in her eye. And I'd be like, oh, that's it. And there was one time when I said, drop the mic on set. And I was like, she delivered this line. And I went, drop the mic. And she went, what happened to the mic? What happened? And I went, oh, no. I mean, that was brilliant. Like that was perfect. Print, cut, we're done.
That's because I'm an old woman and I don't know things like drop the mic.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Our next question is from Monica Gleiberman.
Hi, everyone. Thank you guys so much for being on here today. I'm so excited. The movie was so good. I have two questions. First to Rita, obviously, legend. I wanted to know, I love your character. She's funny. She's spunky. She's just everything that you would want. And I just want to like be friends with her. I just love her so much. So what was that like for you as an actor to step in and try to make or create her? And then for everyone else, including Melissa, I know, it's so nice to have a female voice, directing this film. What was it like kind of getting this group together? And for all of you, what was the experience like on set?
Melissa, you go first.
Oh my gosh. So the script was just lovely to begin with. It's rare in these instances when Christmas has become such a huge genre. It's hard to find movies that always have a happy ending, but we're still finding unique ways to tell stories. And I thought that this script really told a story we hadn't heard before. And I loved that it had a romantic element, but it was also about a wiser woman kind of teaching another woman about the joys of Christmas. And then when you take a great script and you put in incredible performances, my job, it's just gold. My job is so much easier when I have this amazing cast of characters. And, we get to see Emily be super funny. And I mean, we've seen her like run away from demons and stuff, but now we get to see her like really kind of chime into this like she just hits so many great comedy elements. And then you have someone like Marissa who just sparkles on stage in any stage she's in, and she gets to wear big bows. And this was like the role that was written for her. And then you have Justin, who's just so charming and just, I mean, nice to look at, but also like just he and Emily brought this great chemistry together and had these great little moments in these beautiful little looks. And then you put it, the cherry on top is Rita just being like you said, a living legend. Like she's just, I mean, she can't do wrong. Like she's on camera and it just like, the camera loves her.
Oh, sure.
And Rita, what was it like for you? You know, because like I said, you play, I mean, it's everything that you could want. I want to be her friend. I love.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So what was it like?
Nice. I'm so glad the character made an impression on you. I was, you know, I was really trying my best to make her interesting, not just, she's by the nature of the way the script is written, you're going to like her. But you want to do more than just like a character. You want to, you know, get a giggle out of her. At least for me, you know, no matter what I do, there always has to be a funny moment here and there. I did in West Side Story, you know, when I'm doing a very serious character. It just lends a dimension. So that I was encouraged to do it by this wonderful director and marvelous woman, by the way, Melissa, was just a delight. I look forward every day to what the hell I was going to do because I didn't know. I didn't always know.
Well, thank you guys so much. The movie is fantastic. And this cast, I would have a million questions for all of you because you're all so good. So just congratulations. And thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you. You too.
Our next question is from So Unique Magazine.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good.
Hey, good.
Good. So my question is, have you guys ever faced what seemed like a nearly impossible task and was able to overcome it by rediscovering what was really important to you?
Huh?
Emily, can you take that one?
Oh my God.
What a strange question. Can you maybe just rephrase that a little bit? I mean, what does that have to do with the movie? I'm just curious.
Okay, well, how was your experience filming with working with Melissa Joan Hart?
For me, it was fabulous. And I think I really answered that in great detail. So I would love to see that very handsome guy. Mouth. I mean, look at him. He's gorgeous.
Hey, Rita.
What do you think, Justin? Huh?
It's good to see you. Yeah, it was such a pleasure working with everyone, but Melissa in particular was, I think people were asking me like, what was it like working with her? And she's honestly one of my favorite directors to work with. It just was so, I feel like everything was just flowed and there was just like, it was just easy and we understood each other. And especially, you know, her being an actor, like understanding where we're coming from. I just felt like that connection was there. And it was one of my favorite experiences working with the director.
Thank you.
Me too. I feel like you could just really, or I could really just trust Melissa. She's very direct and she has such a great eye. And you could even tell on set that the crew like really trusts her and respects her and she would just move things along and figure out, you know, what was important and focus on that. And it was such a great experience for me as well, working with Melissa. I just really, the best thing I can say is just like, I really trusted her, you know, and her eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's important too, just for the heck of it, it rained. It rained a lot now and then in our Christmas movie. And the things that, you know, we actually did scenes in the rain with the lighting done in such a way that you couldn't quite see it. Look at her face.
I will say so to answer your first question, which is like overcoming an obstacle, I have to say that the end of this movie, the last night of shooting was supposed to be a night shoot. There was no weather expected. We had the three big scenes at the end where the couple decides they're going to be, like they decide they're going to be together, where they have their first kiss and where they say goodbye to Belle and Chris and they fly off. And like, those three scenes were going to be shot on the last night. And we had these torrential thunderstorms roll in. And for about 8 hours out of our 12-hour night, we had thunderstorms. And I didn't think we were going to finish the movie. And I was panicking. And like, I tried to keep it cool. I don't know if I did a very good job, but focusing on what I had to get done, which was those 3 scenes and those elements. And we actually ended up taking a ballroom in a nearby hotel and making it a soundstage and shooting some scenes out that way. And then the sun was coming up. So like the end of the movie is color timed very differently than the rest of the movie, because as soon as the clouds cleared, this magical storm that came out, it was like a television movie. Like it was like the cloud was following us everywhere we went. Like it wasn't supposed to be there. It just kept recreating itself over us. We were all just like, what are we going to do? So we solved that problem. We came together, and the movie is beautiful, and I'm so proud of it. And so that was one of the, it wasn't always, every day wasn't always easy, but it was a joy to be with these people. And I'll let Marissa talk. Sorry, Marissa.
One thing, I take it back. That was a great question, because I forgot about all the hardships. I only remember the good stuff. Okay, I'll shut up.
Thanks so much, guys.
Oh, Marissa's being shy. Come on, Marissa, sing for us. Sing for us. Sing. Can't get her to sing for me ever.
Our next question is from Mike Hughes.
Yeah, I like the scenes with Emily and Deanna Bray. I thought they were very interesting. So I wondered 2 things. First of all, from Melissa, was that in the script originally that it was going to be a hearing impaired actress, or was that a casting idea you came up with? And then for Emily, talk a little bit about that. Did you know sign language ahead of time? Did you learn it for the role? And is it harder or easier to act with all the other emotions and the signs hands at the same time? But first of all, Melissa.
Yeah, it was in the script when I got it. The script was in a pretty completed form. We did some touch-ups on it. So what we did was, the mom was a role that she would go home and talk to her mom. And her mom was a deaf actress. I mean, a deaf character in the original, but it was because she was going to speak later on to the deaf girl in the toy store. So it was like this Miracle on 34th Street moment that was already in the script, but we decided to enhance it by making her mother her business partner and giving them more to do. So there was, I think, an assistant in the original script, and we took the assistant out and made it that the mom and daughter work together. So we were able to expand those ASL scenes, which was magnificent. And Emily killed it. I'll let her talk about her experience there.
Yeah, it was one of the things I did really like about the script. I always feel like when there's an opportunity to learn something new, you asked if I knew ASL before, and I didn't. And I felt that it was a really cool, unique challenge, and something I really didn't want to mess up, I guess. And I actually got a coach here in LA. I found them through Deaf West. This guy, Justin Jackerson, he actually first coached me on the scenes and helped me kind of get like a baseline knowledge. And then once I was on set, it was actually Deanne and she actually really helped me, because there's little nuances to things of like being Coda, a child of a deaf person, that I hadn't thought of, and I had kind of learned the script really literal. So it was definitely a challenge, but really satisfying. And I really enjoyed the process. And yeah, it was
on set were amazing. Like it was silent on set all day. It was such an interesting way to work. And it was really eye-opening. I enjoyed every minute of it, trying to watch the performances. And, I couldn't really know if they were saying what they needed to be saying, but I would turn to the translators and say, did we get that? And they would say yes or no, or let's work on this. But it was a very interesting way to work in almost absolute silence. Sorry, Emily, did I cut you off?
Yeah, no. Yeah, it was really satisfying, like I said, to learn. And there were definitely like challenges, like moments. But I really enjoyed working with Deanne, and it was really cool to learn more about the deaf community too. And specifically here in LA, I didn't really know much about Deaf West theater. And so yeah, it was great.
Cool. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Our next question is from the mylifetime.com website, and this is for Marissa. Marissa, this is actually your second Lifetime Christmas movie working with Melissa Joan Hart. How did this one differentiate from your first one together?
Well, the first one together, Melissa starred in it. She didn't direct it. And then this one she directed. So, I loved both movies for different reasons. I love Melissa directing this one. I loved acting off of her on the other one. And I know I saw in the lineup, I think they even like run back to back because you're rerunning our A Very Nutty Christmas right after, but about the same couple of days. But, you know, I've worked with Melissa prior to the Christmas movies, but I love working with Melissa. This one was really fun having a female director. It was my, you know, our other Christmas movie was not a female director. Not that it matters, but it kind of does, because I think Melissa kind of got the vibe of the movie. And to be honest, probably in the other movie, she was sort of directing behind the scenes as well. But she can't help herself.
I'm bossy.
But, yeah, well, she wasn't bossy, but she definitely was like, maybe we should do it like this. And we were all like, yeah, let's go do it like that. Don't tell the other person that. No, I'm just teasing. But no, I had a great time. I love doing these movies. I particularly like this one because the last one I was in a kitchen in a bakery and I don't cook at all and I don't bake. So that was really acting for me.
We ate a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot of cookie dough that you weren't allowed to eat any of on that Christmas movie. There were like cookies everywhere. We weren't allowed to, and Melissa would eat it and they'd be like, this is 5 days old. And she's like, well, I don't care. And I would be like, oh my God. But this one was much easier for me. It was, you know, clip on bows and have a lot of energy, kind of what I do best. So I was really happy to be a part of it.
That's great. Thank you so much. Our next question is from Julio Martinez.
For Rita.
That's a surprise from Julio Martinez.
Yes.
For Rita, what is wrong with you? ¿Qué pasó, amigo?
Hola. I was wondering, what were the Christmas traditions you knew from your youth? I know you come from Puerto Rico, so did my parents, and you were raised in New York. What traditions did you have?
Oh gosh, Puerto Rican Christmases are fabulous. It's usually not turkey, it's usually roast pork. The food is abundant, but it's how you celebrate Christmas in Puerto Rico that's amazing, because you go on things called parrandas. Parrandas are things where groups come together. It could be 4 people, it could be 2, could be 5, 10. And you go from house to house and make a lot of noise with the homemade instruments and sing at the top of your lungs. And that it's 1 o'clock in the morning does not mean a thing. You have to open that door. So everybody's always ready for that in the neighborhood. You open the door and you go inside and you drink some coquito. And coquito is a gorgeous combination of cream and egg yolk and rum. And it's delicious. And because it seems so, you know, mild, you drink too much of it usually. And you do sing very loud the next time you're at somebody else's house. It's fun, but they also have parades, because you see, we don't have Santa. We have the 3 kings. And that is so beautiful to see. And there's tons of little homemade parades of people dressed as the 3 kings. It's absolutely lovely. So Santa became a brand new thing for me when I came to America. And that was pretty good too, because you actually sit on his lap and I would make requests with my little accent because I talk like this Dane. And I would like to have a dolly with a lot of curly hair, please, Santa.
Rita, is that like Las Posadas? Is that what you said? Is it the same as the Mexican?
It's kind of like that. Yeah, it's kind of like that. But you literally invade people's homes. You make a lot of noise. You usually have make-believe instruments. You bang on cans and stuff. And you're just generally very raucous. And it's no wonder that I'm that kind of person. I'm a raucous Puerto Rican.
Thank you. And I was also wondering, Justin, aren't you from New Orleans? I was wondering what your Christmas was like.
Well, yeah, my family is all from down in New Orleans. We grew up more central Louisiana, but it is funny because I always a few years ago, I just started doing a gumbo as like a traditional Christmas thing, which I don't know if anyone does. It's not like we did that in my family growing up, but yeah, like even this year we're gonna be in Tennessee and we're gonna go to some friend's house and I'm gonna make a big gumbo and bring it over. And so that's kind of
I'm in Tennessee.
I guess that's my you're welcome to come. I'll bring you and Tucker. I'll bring you the whole family, but
yeah, Tucker played Jack in the movie, so he got to work with all these wonderful people.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
Yeah.
Our next question is from Jamie Steinberg.
Marissa, I have to say, I love you on What We Do on the in the Shadows. It's such a great role for you, and you have
Thank
such
you.
a talent for comedy. Was that also what drew you to be a part of this? Was the chance to continue to show off the great chops you have?
Oh, thank you. I'm actually in Canada right now shooting another episode. Yes, actually, well, truthfully, they were like, here's a movie, Rita's in it. I'm like, I'm in it. So that was the truth. I actually read half of it before I said yes as fast as I could once I heard that Rita was in the movie, to be honest.
I don't think you
Melissa's
read it
like,
at
I got
all,
this
did you?
movie.
I thought you
What?
didn't read it at all. You were just like, wait, what happens in the movie? I'm there.
I just said I read half of it. Half of it was my lines. I read my lines and then I said yes. No. Melissa texted me and told me about the movie and said that she had Rita, and I was like, I'm in. So that's actually what did it. And then I read it.
You had no room in your life for it. You just like shoved everything else out.
I had no room. I literally had zero room. The night that Melissa talks about that it was downpouring was our last night of shooting. And I literally had to be on the plane at 6 a.m. the next morning. So we worked until like 6, and then I left right from shooting. No, I had no room. But when someone gives you an opportunity to work with a legend, you drop everything and you work with a legend. So that's why I did this movie.
Always a pleasure to see Rita on our screens. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from Kate O'Hare.
This is a question from
Girl.
Hi, I'm here. There's so many Christmas movies. Literally, I had my intern make a list. There's about 200 altogether.
Wow.
As a director, like, what are the things you absolutely have to have in a Christmas movie? And what sort of ways can you veer from the formula to make something a little different or more memorable, if you can?
Well, I mean, it starts with the bare bones of making a good movie, right? So the script has to have a great story, great character arcs, and a great arc in itself. And you could take Christmas out of any movie, or you could put it into any movie. Like, I don't know that Home Alone has to be a Christmas movie, but it's a great movie. Or Elf tells a wonderful story, just happens to be at Christmas time. So I feel like there's ways to make any movie a Christmas movie because we've done it. But like in the case of this, you always want to have, I mean, especially if you're doing one of these holiday films that's in this genre, you have to have a happy ending. We've been able to do 2 movies that didn't necessarily have happy endings, where they didn't end up with the guy you thought they were gonna, or the girl that you thought they were gonna end up with, but it still has a happy ending. So, the formula really is happy ending, romance. And with this one, we were able to infuse more comedy than usual, which is where I sort of live. I want to infuse more comedy. And of course, with this great cast, we were able to do that. And Lifetime let us have that freedom in this go around to sort of inflate a little bit of the comic moments. But, really, it's a matter of a great story, great performances, and then you sprinkle in really pretty Christmas decorations and some snow with the magical kiss, and you've got a Christmas movie. So I don't think the formula is as structured as it seems, right? I mean, you play around with the colors of red and green, and we were able to, in this one, I'm very proud of, we were able to put Mr. and Mrs. Claus at the end of the movie in those icy blues and whites, which I was really proud of, that we were able to show them more of the Pierre Noel, like holiday classic Christmas, as opposed to the red and green. So I play with it in those ways to try to make it a little bit more original with some of the production design and some of the costume design. And, but it's really it's the heart of it. It's about finding the joy of Christmas. There's always a character or one or more that have to discover the joy of Christmas. They've lost the joy and they have to find the joy. And that's really what the template is.
Is Christmas movie a genre in and of itself, or is it an umbrella under which you can tuck almost any genre?
You really could. I mean, I think even with Krampus, I guess you get a little horror in there, right? But I think it falls under the rom-com in this category. Like Santa Bootcamp falls under rom-com with the umbrella of Christmas, or I should say, like sort of like the twinkle of Christmas, but it's really a rom-com. And then and I guess there are, you do find these other genres, but I think that between some of these networks, Lifetime and some others around that are making more Christmas related movies, you really do have another genre now. That's sort of a subgenre.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Jamie Ruby from Sci-Fi.
Hi, thanks for talking with us. So for each of you, can you tell me what about, like, you know, just the whole production, what did you learn about yourself during making it?
I learned that I can actually memorize lines at 90.
And boy, did you do it. You had monologues.
If you don't think that's a fantastic achievement, it is, and it's not so easy. And I remember that before the film started production, I spoke to Melissa and her mom, who also co-produces, and I said, you know, I'm just not sure that I can remember some of this stuff. So as much as I hate to do this, I'm going to ask you to have cue cards ready for me in case. I said, I'm working extremely hard, and I really was, on the lines, but because I had a couple of long speeches, not a lot, just a couple, but a couple is a lot for someone who's 90, you know. And to my delight, most of the time, I really didn't need it. A couple of times I did. There's some things that just will not stick. And it's not like it's difficult to remember. It's just that your brain is not accepting those particular sounds.
You had monologues though, and you did a fantastic, you never needed the cue cards. You did amazing. You were one day you were in heels for 8 hours, and you were complaining that, you know, this is a woman who's 90 going on 55. And she complains, like, she's like, my right knee is not quite great anymore. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Can I be 90 and could just complain about my right knee? Like, I'm 46 and I have hip problems already. Like, I would love that.
Thank you.
You're my role model.
I'm afraid I have to go. This is terrible, but I have to leave. I have other things, right? I'm so sorry.
That is all right. We can actually wrap up right now. And we wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who spent time today talking with us. Please tune in to Santa Bootcamp November 19th at 8/7 Central on Lifetime.